Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Cleveland Browns. Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in Week 4. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. A 3-yard pickup on second and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on third and a little more than a yard.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
First down, Cleveland.
Good. 180. Coming this way. Coming this way. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Jim. Alert, alert. Alert, alert.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On third down, Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Mayfield to throw it. It's caught. Beckham. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Check number 6. Check number 6.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Tie your right. Tie your right. Bring it. Bring it. Up. Hurry.
Mayfield with it once more. flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Ready, Henry, check, 53's Mike. Watch the run, ready.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. He's trying to escape. He won't. He's taken down. Ingram taken down to the end zone. It's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Keep playing hard.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
Check, 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 check.
Mayfield now. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a big no-no last time. A safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand now. So, see if they can atone for that mistake.
You give up points, but on the flip side, the positive side, after you punted the ball away or kicked it away,
Defense held.
Defense held for you, so there's a little bit of relief there. Now they know they can get back out on the field, run their offense, and try not to put their defense in a bad spot again.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. The quarterback run good for 10 that time, but it does lead to a third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. This time, Jackson will throw it. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
That's good for Baltimore. First down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. They went right back to him there, figuring one big play deserves another. You think maybe he called for it and said, hey, give me the ball again?
I think a lot of people operate under the whole idea of if they haven't stopped it, go until they do. You go right back at a guy because maybe his confidence might not be as high. In this case, he responded well.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jackson got a man. It's Brown. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
We all know that Myles Garrett was drafted #1 in the NFL for his ability to get to the quarterback. That's his stock in trade. But the underrated part of his game, plays well against the run, knows how to hold the point of attack.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
Come get some. He don't want it. Check the backer, check the backer.
From the gun, Jackson. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check. 53's mine.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
We play to win. Let's go.
So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal.
Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. 53's the mark. 53. Check 53. Just like that. Just like that. Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Miles Boykin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
Let's go. Let's do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They go with Chubb on second down and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
At the 39-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Mayfield looks to throw. It's brought in by Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
53 is the mic. Check. 53 is mic. Check. 53 is mic.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
I got you, punk.
To try again after the sack. Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
53 is the mic. Ain't no such thing as a loss.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He sets to fire deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Yannick Ngakoue in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. They toss to Ingram. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Jackson on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, Mayfield. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Check. 53's mine. Check. 59.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free.
It's now 2nd and 10.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
Jackson now, throwing again. Dancing to his left. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Switch. 51.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now. Down at the 31.
Let's go. Hey, we got
Jackson from the shotgun. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Let's go. Check it. Number 53, Mike 53. Get your swarm on.
Operating from the gun, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 8 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And some room to run now. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Ingram again. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. But he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Being chased out left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Ravens 35, Browns 2. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Yannick Ngakoue picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player... disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. The throw over the middle taken in. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Sam Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
A gain of 14. First down, Cleveland.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Mayfield on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Demetrius Harris, the intended target, but it'll be second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Mayfield to throw it. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Mayfield. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Ingram. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Come on.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Makes the score. Ravens 42, Browns 2. Justin
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Here's Jamie Gillen down. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Ingram. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds them to just 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Around the NFL, 4th quarter right now in Atlanta. And pushing up their lead, the Titans have scored again. If they hold on, a victory there would be their 3rd of the year. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing, Mayfield. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A run for Nick Chubb, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And again, it's Chubb. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Drop deep, drop deep. King.
1st down, Mayfield. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. It's caught, Beckham. And he's got this down to the 35. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
180. Mike's 56. Watch QB drop. Watch out.
A first down throw for Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Ravens take over first and
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and
smile.
shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Baltimore, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.